Timothy Fosu-Mensah might have had a bout of déjà vu on Thursday night as France players mobbed Kylian Mbappé. Less than 18 months ago at Tottenham, Fosu-Mensah was starting for a Dutch manager presiding over a lost cause and, just like at White Hart Lane, the Manchester United right-back was the outstanding performer in another away-day drubbing. Fosu-Mensah had a heavy workload at the Stade de France with Thomas Lemar, Antoine Griezmann and Kingsley Coman starting behind Olivier Giroud, with Paul Pogba pirouetting past dazed Dutchman in midfield. Fosu-Mensah made more tackles than anyone on the pitch, produced at least 3 goal-saving blocks and managed to boss Pogba in one duel. Oranje supporters were effusive about his efforts, but the notoriously brutal L'Equipe ratings marked Fosu-Mensah with a 3, which was an inaccurate summary of his international debut. The feeling, after 3 defeats in 3 starts on loan at Crystal Palace, might have been familiar, yet Fosu-Mensah's decision to leave United for a year has revived his development. United have signed transfer window bargains and embarrassed their rivals. He seems to be the only Dutch player with any clue. Palace fanzine The 5-year plan tweeted, "Only on loan and actually gives a FK," was a caustic reaction to Fosu-Mensah's apology for their weekend loss to Swansea. "I would NT apologise, Tim. You were one of the only lads who looked as though you cared," another replied. Nobody racked up more tackles and interceptions in the Premier League last month than Fosu-Mensah, and Palace supporters seem to have taken to him, which is a measured outlook on a defender whose side has conceded 6 goals in 3 games, half of those to newly promoted Huddersfield at Selhurst Park. How United revolutionised their transfer strategy. The permanent addition of Mamadou Sakho has moved some to demand Frank de Boer accommodates Fosu-Mensah in his backline at right-back. That was where Fosu-Mensah excelled in his first months in the United team. His outing at Spurs was so impressive. United employees who had arrived early for the FA Cup replay at West Ham 3 days later were asking whether he had travelled. Fosu-Mensah had, having recovered from a minor injury, and started again. Fosu-Mensah has maybe begun the final stage of his development as a Jose Mourinho player this season. He has spent enough time around the senior setup to familiarise himself with the demands being a United player entails, and now it is about getting game time in the league he intends to continue in. Fosu-Mensah started in France when he was asked about his preferred position at United's Santa Clara Hotel in July. Fosu-Mensah cheerfully replied, "I like them all." He seemed genuine. "As I said before, where the manager needs me, I'll play. If he wants me to play centre-back, I'll play there. If he wants me to play defensive midfield, I'll play there. If he wants me to play right-back, I'll play there. I can play them all, so it's not a problem." Come the start of next season, right-back Antonio Valencia will be 33 and Fosu-Mensah, currently 19, might return on the back of a fulfilling season playing there for the South Londoners. Mourinho indicated last month he would attempt to reinforce the United squad next year with a player who allows me to play with 3 at the back and have a wing-back, and Fosu-Mensah has already played in a back 3 with Palace this season. The first leaves of autumn have not dropped and he is adding strings to his bow. Paul Pogba drops Thomas Lemar transfer hint. Regardless of whether Palace slide into the Championship, Fosu-Mensah should be well primed to return to the United setup next season. Andreas Pereira suffered relegation from La Liga with Granada, yet Mourinho bumped up his squad number and was reluctant to let him return to Spain with Valencia. Only Mourinho, who vowed last year he would not keep a player against his will, relented after the English window had closed, and Pereira is about to continue his development in a markedly different culture when the emphasis had to be on a Premier League loan. It is a debatable decision after just 2 starts in English football, both of them League Cup ties over the last 3 years, and Pereira now seems to be preparing himself for a career in Spain rather than England. It is déjà vu for Pereira, too. Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here, now.